pops up. There we go.
Yeah.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. Got the big king of the internet headbanging Zulu here, and I going to do a big show where we just grab 10 random CDs and we're just going to yak about rock, and hopefully somebody's watching and comment and get a chat going. So
Yeah.
that's about it. So I guess I'll start.
So what you pulled out the pile?
Yeah, this one's kind of weird, obscure. Like I have some obscure plus some stuff that's popular just to mix it up. But this is the same album pretty well, but this was the original called Wood Dock Rose and Pay It or something. They're Canadian, but anyway, it's kind of like a Thin Lizzy deal.
Right.
So that's the original. And this White Witch Women Blues, I think it's called. Yeah, that was kind of a little minor hit. But then they got onto a bigger label. And I've got a piece of paper in the way, but that's dumb. But anyway, bigger label, and they did a lot of the other songs, a lot of these songs, and just re-recorded them. So some of it I don't care for, but the Thin Lizzy bouncy kind of rockers I like a lot. So it's just a fun hard rock album.
Yeah.
I saw them live. Oh, pardon?
So that's fair play, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I went to see them in Jasper, Alberta, which is sort of between here and Edmonton, but it's dead east in Alberta. But they were supposed to open up for a band called what's their name? Another Canadian band. They had a drummer, was the singer. Priestess. I don't know if you heard of Priestess.
Oh, they ring a bell.
Yeah, they're a heavier, just good hard rock. But Pride Tiger couldn't make the show, so I was a little disappointed. But anyway, that was just a quick one there, just a quick unknown one. That if someone like Thin Lizzy, they might want to just check them out.
Yeah, because it's weird because Thin Lizzy I knew them quite intimately. They were massive over here, obviously, with Phil Lynott. He married an English celebrity's daughter. And, they were huge over here. And I didn't clock into them at the time. It's one of these bands I discovered later. And I realised how good he was like 30 years after he died. You know what I mean? But he was like a massive celebrity over here. I think I'm sure he was from Ireland. I know he was from Ireland. He was like a huge celeb over here. But they did some good stuff in the 70s, and because he married a famous celebrity's daughter, then I think he died of a drugs overdose. But it was sort of banned. We were sort of saturated with a bit over here. They were on all the TV shows, but I sort of didn't go into them too much.
Well, their live albums, the seminal album, that's the Live and Dangerous, is just, although I only like 3/4 of it because they have a couple of mellow songs that I don't like that other people really like, but not me. Especially what's the one Metallica does, and it's a Thin Lizzy, Whiskey in a Jar. I hate that song. I can't stand even 1 second of that song. And
wow,
everybody else likes it, but
because Gary Moore was with him, wasn't he? Gary Moore, was he the guitarist?
Yeah, and at one time, same with John Sykes.
Yeah, John Sykes. Never knew that. Yeah, I knew that. I did know it, but I knew there was a connection. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
No, when Thin Lizzy came to Vancouver in '77 or '78, I didn't really care about them, but I had a free ticket to go, and I thought, it's going to be boring, but I'll try it anyway, because I only knew Boys Are Back in Town and maybe one other song, Jailbreak, I guess. I thought those were okay, but then I went and they blew me away live. Like, they were twin guitar attack, and they were really heavy live. The drummer was excellent. Brian Downey has a good, like Bill Ward has a real swing. He's not just a blocky 4/4/4. So yeah, Thin Lizzy was fantastic. And then I bought the live album. To me, that's the one you have to have. Anyone has to have. Even King Scott Waters bought the 8 CD version or whatever. It's all or 6. I don't know how many CDs, but all the shows they took the live album from. It's all in one box set, but it's out of my price range. But
yeah, well, I know how you feel because I had that because I was on TV here today. You know, they say memorable dates. It was '84, and it was Bruce Springsteen born in the USA, and I had free tickets to go and see him, and I turned them down. So I've had the same story as you with Thin Lizzy, and no doubt other bands. and that was Springsteen at his height. I saw him twice since then, and we turned him down like it's Bruce Springsteen. So he hadn't really made it big over here. I mean, I just sort of knew him, but he wasn't sort of like Born in the USA really broke him. He became huge after that. And I said, who's Bruce? I mean, these were free tickets. I think I can't remember. I think it was Leeds or somewhere in England. And they said, yeah, would you like to go see Springsteen live? And I says, who's Bruce Springsteen? I mean, man, it's like saying who's the king, you know what I mean? Or yeah, we all kind of make mistakes in life, don't we?
I did the same thing. Is George Thorogood very famous where you are?
I've heard of him, but no, not really. I mean, he's probably got his fan base.
Yeah, he's pretty big in North America, but he's still on the radio. But yeah, I had a free ticket for him, and he was when I worked at the record store in Vancouver. They had an in-store, and it was packed with people because he was playing that night in a club, about 1,000-seat club, the Commodore, which is very famous in Vancouver. But just sort of sweaty blues, but it's a fast, bouncy stuff. And I thought, nah, I can't be bothered. And then found out later, he's really, really good live, and he just picks it up, just sweaty, kind of blues rock, not like a BB King blues, just more of a bouncy blues. But yeah, I was stupid. Could have seen him in a small club.
Yeah, I mean, the most famous person I ever, it's not rock or metal. And I was just there because the simple reason I was in London, and Mick Jagger, one of his favourite clubs in London, and he used to turn up, and I thought I might get lucky, go to this club with my cousin, and Mick Jagger might turn up. I wouldn't talk to him like it'd be too sort of thing, but like I say, I've seen Mick Jagger in I've sat in the same club as him, and me and my cousin, he knew a friend of a friend of a friend, and that's how we got in. And this little black fella moved in, and he came in, and he pulled his trumpet out of the box and started playing this most amazing trumpet stuff you've ever heard. You never guess who it was. Hugh Masekela. And I had a private show by a little guy called Hugh Masekela. He's a phenomenally famous trumpeter. And I've got friends who said, oh, yeah, I love Hugh Masekela. I said, yeah, I've had a private show off the guy. It's like sitting with Richie Blackmore. He's sat within 6 inches of you and giving you a private sort of guitar recital. I didn't know who Masekela was, never heard of him before. But I thought, man, this guy, he can seriously play this trumpet. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was me, Who Masekela. I thought, wow. But best laugh was my cousin went back into the jazz club when I came home. 2 or 3 times later, Mick Jagger walked in with his entourage. So I stopped star spotting.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned the trumpet because Coronation Street just has a new guy came onto the show, and he is going to move in with this lady just out of the blue, a relative that showed up out of nowhere. She didn't even know if she had him, but anyway, had a whole cube van of junk. And one of the things that was in the cube van that he's got to try and fit in this little apartment was a trumpet. So the moving guy said to the guy moving in, oh, here's your trumpet. So all he did was go, like you could tell he couldn't play, and it just sounded hideous, but it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, the apartments over here are really small. They're not like the American ones, or I've seen them in Canada, in Vancouver, and I was watching this girl. I think she was a musician. I can't remember, and she lived in Vancouver or somewhere. You'll see the size of her place; it was huge, and that was just like a bog standard apartment. And mine's a double bed, and this is big by English standards. I thought, wow, I wish our apartments were like that. I mean, this thing was huge. They're massive. Anyway, do you want me to go next? I want to reopen a wound. Yeah, I was doing some research on Heaven and Hell Deluxe Edition, yeah. And I was going to pull, because I had a copy, the plastic, it's got the plastic sleeve, and it looks intact. And I was going to pull the trigger on it. And it was like we were discussing it the other day, because I've got Mob Rules Deluxe Edition. And I think I've got 2 copies of Heaven and Hell, the CD, normal release CD. And do I want to get this deluxe edition? So anyway, I scrolled down the eBay announcement and I looked at all the track listing. And guess where? All the bonus live tracks, they come from this show. And I've already shown this on the channel. Now, what they've done with it, I've shown this CD before, Heaven in Hartford, Children of the Grave, and I think Sweet Leaf, and all the bonus tracks were taken off this CD. So it's really pointless me buying the deluxe edition when I've got all the bonus tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And it pays to scroll down when you buy these CDs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, they put out the same live tracks just in a different box.
Yeah,
And they should
yeah,
have a lot of live stuff they could have chosen to not a repeat, but I'm not sure how big a label that Heaven in Hartford is. If that's just a small label, I don't know.
I reckon it's got boot. This is a boot. Is this authorised or?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what it looks like if it's
Well, they're
got a.
pulling because I can't. I think this reeks of a boot.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
But if they're pulling live tracks off it, it must have been a good quality boot. That's what's got me confused because they rarely pull live. I mean, obviously the recording must have been a very good one for them to pull the tracks and stick them on a deluxe edition. You know what I mean? So because I was shocked, they are really, really good quality for a bootleg by bootleg standards. So yeah, but I had a look at it. I thought I'm going to pull the trigger on that one, and that brings me another conversation we're grabbing in about 10 minutes. And so yeah, I didn't bother because when I saw the track listing. So the moral of that story, folks, is always check the track listings.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I think I saw them on that tour as well. Not well, Heaven and Hell tour. I'm pretty sure that's the one I saw, standing about 3 people away from the stage, right in front of Tony Iommi. So that was pretty darn excellent.
Yeah, because my friend, he's like 3 years. I'm a bit jealous of him because he's 3 years older than me. Well, I think he's a bit more than that. He's about 4 or 5 years older than me. And he saw AC/DC like with Bon Scott and all the Dio. He saw him because he could get into the halls, but I couldn't. You see, at the time because I was too young. And I always say, well, if I was a bit older, I would have been there. You know what I mean? That's my excuse. I don't know if it's like in Canada, but you have to have an age limit. It was at the time you had to be over 16. And I was just a bit on the young side when when the sort of the serious stuff was coming out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, you can't go around listening to Sabbath.
Not at all. Not at all.
It's interesting now that I think of it, because when Gillan was in Black Sabbath, they played Smoke on the Water, but when Dio was in Black Sabbath, they didn't play any Rainbow.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because I thought when Dio was in Sabbath, I was shocked. I didn't realise he did any Aussie era songs. Because I'm sure I read in an interview that he wouldn't attempt to sing them or something. It must have been wrong information or fake news. But I was shocked because I'm sure Dio said he would not try to do any Aussie songs because he couldn't do them justice. So I've got living proof is on that record he did do Aussie era songs. So I must have read some fake news. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think I've read that he was good with doing them. At least what I read.
Yeah.
In an interview, they had a sit down interview with Tony Iommi. I just watched. It was about half an hour long, and he just liked the Ronnie. They were talking about the new release of Live Evil, the new remastered version, and all that. So, yeah, no, so he didn't mind. Although the fans minded. Apparently, they were giving him the finger and booing him a bit at the start, but he won him over pretty fast.
They would here because obviously Sabbath being a local band to me, they're all Aussie purists. And I keep saying when I listen to Dio, no, Aussie Sabbath, and that's it. They only their Sabbath collections end in 78. I said, we want to listen to Dio, you want to listen to these other people and they did some really good stuff with Sabbath. No, we just want Ozzy's the only person who can sing Sabbath. You know what I mean?
Well, I can understand because that's perfection. So it's pretty hard to top perfection.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it?
They did it. They modernized the sound, and that just sounded so fresh and new. It came out. I haven't held the studio album.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm just having a little rummage. Yeah, can I just show another CD, please? I realise I've just got a couple that are relevant to the topic we're talking. So if I show a couple, then you can show a couple. Because sure. I just realised you saying that in my pile, there's a couple of CDs that are relevant, so we might as well show them now. And this is the Black Sabbath CD, but the only thing it was Rob Halford on vocals. I'm sure it was you told me to get this, called The Priest Comes to Sabbath. Have you got this
Yep.
one, Greg?
Yep. Yeah.
And I'm also sure that you may have sent me this one, but I might be wrong. This is Holy Dio, a tribute to Ronnie James Dio. I'm sure we discussed it, and it's all the and you said but talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I might be wrong, and I'm sure you discussed it a couple of weeks ago. But it's all the big bands. They all sort of homage album to Dio. You've got Gravedigger doing We Rock, Hammerfall doing Man on the Silver Mountain, Blind Guardian Don't Talk to Strangers. It's a really killer CD.
What else is on there? I know it's kind of long-winded to go through them all, but I'm pretty curious.
Well, you've got Blind Guardian, Don't Talk to Strangers, Primal Fear, Kill the King, Goro, Egypt. I don't like that song. The chains are on. I like when Dio did it. It's not my favourite Dio song. Jag Panther, do Children of the Sea. Fate's Warning, do Sign of the Southern Cross. Catch the Rainbow, Rainbow Eyes. Gamma Ray, Long Live Rock and Roll. And Sound, I can't see it, something I can't read it, Country Girl. And Yuengi Malmstein does Gates of Babylon. Then you've got Gravedigger, We Rock, Hammerfall, Man on the Silver Mountain. Holy Mother's done by Holy Diver. Stratovarius, Kill the King. Axel Rudy Pell, Still I Am Sad. Enola Gay does Heaven and Hell. Steel Prophet, Neon Knights. Solitude Returns, Shame on the Night. Destiny's End, Last in Line. And Angel Dust, Temple of the King.
I don't think I know that album.
Yeah, I think I can't remember if you sent it. I might have bought it, picked it up somewhere. I can't remember. But I was playing the other day, and I said, Greg said, I think either you sent me it, or it's been in the collection for a while. Anyway, that's the inner. And it was all. I don't know if it was done after he. Well, it must have been done after he passed away, like.
Well, that's a good track listing.
It certainly is. The only thing I don't like the Dio version. I never have done is Egypt. The King, the chains are on. But as you know, my favourite one is You Don't Like It. Don't Talk to Strangers. That is a killer song. But Blind Guardian do that. There's no Jack Black on it, so that must be a good CD.
So what do you think of the song Gates of Babylon?
I can't remember it, mate. I'll have to listen to this again.
Lots of people rave about it. They think it's one of Blackmore's greatest songs, and I don't really care for it at all. It has a Eastern tinge to it, Eastern music to it.
I probably won't like it then.
It's off Long Live Rock and Roll, but lots of people really...
Does it sound like the chains are on? That sort of vibe?
I can't remember how that song goes.
Yeah, if it sounds sort of like that, I probably won't like it. But yeah, you got the Priest one. That's Rob Alford. What do you think of that one? Do you think that's a good one?
Yeah, I've always wished the sound quality was better because it was just they should have professionally done that, but it was such short notice, I guess. But that's a dream come true matchup. I've watched footage of it on YouTube and stuff, and you get to see it. And Rob had fun, and I think Tony even asked Rob to join Black Sabbath at one point, but he turned it down. I guess because he had to sing Priest or whatever was going on. I can't remember when he asked, but that would have been amazing. Plus, Tony wanted to do an album with a bunch of singers like Glenn Hughes and on, stuff like that. It's like
Cassette Mayhem.
Oh, Cassette Mayhem. I'm sneaking a peek while I'm at work. Oh,
yeah, fair play to you, mate. Fair play.
Yeah, Dan, right. We're just doing 10 CDs each and just sort of random talking. And we're just talking about that Dio. I don't know if you heard the very start of what he's showing, but he's got like is that a 2 CD set? That's a lot of songs for tribute album.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so you've got Man on the Silver Mountain, you've got Black Sabbath, it's a great track listing.
I might have bought it in Reading. It's one of these records I might have when I was in Reading a few years back. It may have come from. I can't remember. But yeah, if you ever see it, pick it up. Or I see it, I'll pick you one up.
Sure.
It's called Holy Dio. I'll have a look tomorrow, and I'll pick you one up and find one. But it's definitely worth having, because I'm sure, cause that's why I pulled it. Because I thought Greg, he was talking about it, that Dio tribute one the other day, and I thought that might have been it. So I thought I'd bring it into the show and see if Greg's got it or what he thinks of it. But yeah, it's a killer CD.
Yeah, I've got another Dio tribute album. I don't know. I'd have to go dig it out, but it's excellent too.
Yeah,
Kind of songs like how can you go wrong with Neon Nights? You can't do that one wrong. And
it's one of I like Children of the Seas probably.
oh, that's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, so it'd be, if it was Neon Nights and Children of the Sea, it'd be probably equal pegging in my mind. You can't fault the pair of them.
No, that's where Mob Rules and Southern Sign of the Southern Cross. Those two albums are like an absolute album battle in the making there. That's two perfect albums pretty well.
They sure are. Anyway, what have you got, Greg? Anything nice there? I know it's all nice that you've got, so anything that sort of...
Well, okay, since we're kind of into the Black Sabbath and Dio talk, we'll go more heavy metal.
Tank, Still at War.
That's a band I've totally missed the boat on. I know
Me too.
I think this is the only one I have, except for a concert DVD that's fantastic. A Later Era with Doogie White. I think Doogie White's on this too, of Richie Blackmore's Rainbow fame. Holy cow, he's not. Abbey Ward, I always hear that name, and Mick Tucker, guitar vocals. No, Doogie White's not on here. Okay.
Wow.
But I've heard Doogie Do Still at War, so I'm more familiar with the Doogie, because I play that DVD more than this. But there's 4 excellent songs on here for sure, and then others that I didn't care for a lot. But yeah, Tank's a band, and Tigers of Pantang is another band that I've totally missed the boat on. That's where, just missed out. You can't buy everything, right? But
that's true, that is, because with the Tigers, it was one of the new wave bands. I used to see a lot of the records, but I never pulled the trigger on them.
Oh, yeah. Well, Cloudy did talk me into getting the first one with Wildcat, with the big picture of the lion or tiger.
Yeah.
That is a really good album. It's got a really good bouncy new wave of British heavy metal sound. This is more a heavier song than the Tigers of Pantang were more bouncy, and at least that's what I remember. But yeah, I wish I knew about Tank a long time ago.
Wow, look at this, Greg. I've just pulled another CD. It's got 4 Tank tracks on it.
Oh, okay.
Wow. We must getting psychic, me and you.
New wave of British heavy metal. Wow.
It's called New Wave of British Heavy Metal Live. And you've got 4 bands: Samson, Angel Witch, Girl School, and Tank. And you get the 4 Tank tracks. Echoes of the Distant Battle. This Means War. I know that one. That's What Dreams Are Made Of. You get 3 tracks.
I'm pretty sure those are all good songs. I think they might even all be on the DVD concert.
Yeah. Because I may be wrong, but didn't Tank sort of have the singer and he left? Then they got a new singer or something?
Yeah, that's where Doogie White came in. I think that's what that...
But the original singer, I don't know, this is the original singer, though, This Means War, isn't it? He was original.
Probably, yeah. Because I always hear that Algie Road. But I really know little about Tank, so I can't pretend I know him.
No, mate.
I did get to see them, and they were excellent live. I didn't know the songs, but I just went, wow. These guys are big time. That was at Sweden Rock outdoors on a summer day and big stage, and just thought, wow, this is really, really good.
Because you sent me a concert which was about 30 miles up the road in Walsall. They performed local here.
Oh, right. Yeah, that live album. Yeah.
Yeah, it's near where Rob Alford was born. It's not far away.
That sounds... when you talk like that, it just sounds crazy.
Yeah, I think he was born in Sutton Coldfield.
You could walk there, like...
Yeah.
Long walk, but I mean,
yeah,
they're thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away. You're in the mystical, magical area of the world for heavy metal, and I'm just far end of the world. I may as well be Cucamonga or Zanzibar or something.
Yeah, I'm unashamedly boast we invented heavy metal, and this is where it came from. The fact when you hear Metal Gods by Judas Priest, forget the lyrics, and you hear that boom, boom, and the music, that is the factories of Birmingham. That's that sound, and that's where the true metal come from, in my mind. And you listen to a lot of Judas Priest. It's like walking into a factory. I used to work in one. It's like walking to a press factory. You know what I mean? With a big metal machineries going like bomb, bomb. That's the real heavy metal round here. It came from the factories. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's ground level. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody tells you it didn't, I'm not going to say it. We run a clean channel, but that's the true meaning of metal. It's where it came from, the factories. Other people said it come from other places. No, it came from the factories of the West Midlands. You got bands like Priest, Sabbath, but the Priest to me is the true metal. You know, where it boom, that sort of industrial. That it's just amazing.
Yeah. Oh, and it just dawned on me. I should have said it while Dan still may be listening. He can't type, probably he's at work, but on January 27th, Saturday, this upcoming Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific time in Canada and 5 p.m. Pacific or Eastern Standard Time in Canada and the States, and then at your time, 10 p.m. UK time, legendary Canadian BC superstar Dan Powers is going to be on, and we're going to discuss where are they?
Iron Maiden.
Got my stack of Iron. Yeah, I'm ready to be listening to every single song, and we're going to rank the first, or making a top 5 Iron Maiden albums of all time, but only studio albums, because I would put my top 5 would be just 5 live albums, because they've got all the good songs on there, and I like live better. But yeah, and actually I just watched a video last night. I did an album battle between these two. You guys just wanted to hear what I said, because I did it about 5 years ago. I did the first 2 Iron Maiden as a album battle, see which album I liked better. So that was interesting. Boy, was I boring to listen to. So, but anyway.
No, it's not boring, because I'm not going to tell you which, but one of them albums features on my list.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, yeah, so that'll be an exciting excuse to listen to these albums. And
yeah,
Maiden I've left in the background. I listen to Priest way more than Iron Maiden, Sabbath way more than, like, these guys, when I do listen to them, I get blown away, like 2 Minutes to Midnight. And they have so many 10 out of 10s, but I don't know why. They were always just sort of the new kids on the block, because I'm really old. So it's like Sabbath and Priest or Deep Purple. And then there was sort of, now there's a new bunch of guys like Saxon, Iron Maiden were sort of the new bands. But now they're all 50 years old. So I haven't, but it's going to be great to hear all these songs again. And I'm going to myself just doing my own little ranking, just so I can figure out which ones I like the best. So
wow,
it could be any of these. It could be any of these albums. It could be that one. It could be where's the other one? And that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. And Dan probably heard more of the later albums, so he might include some of the later stuff like Brave New World or.
Yeah, he probably will, because that one sort of be an honourable mention. But I used to collect Maiden up to Seventh Son. Then after that, I lost them a bit, because some of the albums are a bit good. Some of a couple of good tracks, but a lot of the songs I didn't like. Brave New World, that'll be definitely an honourable mention on my list. But again, a lot of them on stuff like that Senjutsu, and it was weird because I had the drama 2 weeks ago when something happened. I stayed up, so I knew I was going to get the phone call. And I stayed up all night. I didn't go to bed till 5 p.m. our time. We did a show that night, and you remember. And I knew the phone. It didn't, but I knew it was coming. And so I just put the earphones in and listened to music till 5 p.m. our time. And I was listening to, funny enough, Senjutsu, the live show, and the album, trying to like it. I'm sorry, I just don't like it. I've heard it now 2 or 3 times. I saw Bruce Dickinson do it in live show, the songs. and it's just not my cup of tea. And I listen to a lot of Iron Maiden stuff. I mean, the old stuff was amazing, 10 out of 10. But the stuff off the last album, like Scott Walter said, it was too long, and that's what he said. And I listened to the first track. I'm sorry, I just can't get into it. I've tried, and it's just not my cup of tea. But I get that like Blood Brothers is another song I can't stand.
No, I don't like that either.
Yeah, I just fast forward it now. If it comes up, fast forward most of the songs. The one I love is the live album they did for 2 Minutes to Midnight, the Power Slave live album, the iconic one. And that's my go-to Iron Maiden now. It's got all my favourite tracks on it, the Trooper and stuff like that. And that's all I play now. But yeah, I mean, it was good up to Seventh Son, but after that, you only like sort of half an album, you know what I mean? And I can't really justify buying a full album now. So they're 13 quid. And I listen to it online and say, can I justify buying that album? And unfortunately, with all these new releases, I can't. And big one was Doro last week. I was trying to justify myself to buy that album, and I couldn't. There was not enough on that album to warrant me to buy it. Oh, that's a good question. What do we think? Sorry, Greg, of the new Bruce Dickinson tracks? I've only heard one, and I think it's very, very good. It's the one where he starts off in a monk's habit. I can't remember what it's called. I sent it to you, Greg. I think you said you didn't like it, so you may remember. But yeah, I liked it. I thought vocally it was very good. Musically it was very good, and I'm really looking forward to the album. But I've been on a few channels, and they've had a mixed reception about it. So it's what we call the UK a Marmite album. You either love it or hate it. And what I heard of it, I love it. I do. One of the tracks I heard, and I thought it was great. And I think I sent you it, Greg, and you said you didn't like it. And I said, Dan, if Dan's on here, he knows. I sent it to Dan as well. I was listening to that the other night as well. Yeah, I've listened to it about 10 or 15 times now. And I should definitely contemplate. If there's enough of the new Bruce Dickinson album there for me to buy it, it's probably a favourite to go into my collection. But as I talked about before, now when I buy a record, I listen to them on YouTube. And if there ain't enough on there justifying me to buy it, I won't pull the trigger on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's for sure.
What do you think of the track, Greg? Did you like it?
I think I found it a little inconsistent. I was really being picky about it, of course.
Yeah.
So I'm comparing it to Running Free and Aces High, Minutes to Midnight. I mean, I thought it was a notch below. That's just, how you're supposed to top those. But I was wondering what band that was he had as a picture with this comment. There's a picture of a band live, but it's hard for me to see who it. Do you know who it is in that little picture?
I think I can't see it. Maybe it's a photograph, isn't it? I can't see it.
Yeah, it's a bit.
My eyes. I think it's Alice Cooper, but I may be wrong. That girl on the right looks like that. His guitarist, that female. Yeah, it's Alice Cooper, mate.
All right. Yeah, that's a great picture.
Yeah, I just about made that girl out, and that's what sung it for me.
Yeah.
It's all right. My eyes are terrible now.
Oh, there we go. It was. You're right. Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Well, you're way out of her league anyway, so there's no way you'd settle for a girl like that.
Nah. But going back to the Bruce Dickinson, though, compared to some of his other solo stuff he's released, I think this track is really good. I think it's better than some of the stuff he's done before. And as I say, I really, really like it. That Tattooed Millionaire, I didn't like that when he did that. Come out with that, and he come out with a couple of tracks I didn't like. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. Oh, you took it to Plymouth, yeah. So you're in England, mate. Yeah, I know Plymouth quite well.
How could he get such a good picture from the angle? That's like dead on. I don't know if he had a crane to have his camera up above the heads of the crowd. Like that's a really perfect angle. That's a good picture. I don't know how that worked. Unless the band's below you. It's a great picture, but Yeah.
It is, isn't it? It's just that what you'd find in a magazine. You could
Oh, for
tell
sure.
it around a magazine. That's magazine quality. That is a good action pose of the band. You know what I mean?
Well, that'd be a great rock T-shirt too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went to so many bands. I should have taken pictures too, but I never did. But oh well.
No,
But
in my defence, cameras never existed when I went to the big shows.
yeah, I know. We were like
Mobile phones. Sorry, I should refrain that.
yeah, we were like in the Flintstone era, so they didn't have cameras then.
True. But do you want to show some more CDs, Greg?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess we kind of rambled on there, didn't we?
We have indeed.
Now we keep thinking heavy here. I'll do a quick one here, just because this is a
We're sat on the balcony. Wow.
Oh, it must have been in a smaller club or a good Zoom, one or the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, balcony, perfect angle down on the band. Wow. Anyway, switching gears just to a little bit of punk rock. There's a funny album cover.
It is, isn't it?
Now, all night Christian roller skate. So I think Christian churches and stuff, one of their little events for youth would be going roller skating. So, but this is a really, really fun, punchy, melodic punk rock album. It's really fun. The whole thing through, it's just really kind of fast and really bouncy, really fun.
Yeah.
I really like this album. Well, here's a goofy picture of this guy, but
Yeah.
got the disco flares but yeah, I would tell anyone to get this album if you like your really bouncy Green Day or whatever, like just a really thick, rich sound. And so I just threw out something a little obscure there just for the heck of it. So not much else I could say. I think they have one other album or maybe even more, but I think I'm aware of one other one that I didn't care for as much as this one. But this was really a lot of songs to choose from that were really good.
Yeah, you could tell they never had a lot of money for cover art. It reminds me of the old-fashioned punk gigs when you used to do your own. And it's all handwritten inside. And they used to make their own covers. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. Yeah. No King Scott Waters to help them out.
No, it's because they're quite valuable. I've got quite a few of them. And what they used to do was stick a piece of card in there or a piece of paper. So they couldn't afford the glossy stuff. So they used to handwrite the lyrics out and stick it in with a CD. And it's a charm of punk rock, that is. It sort of adds, it's like when you get a good wine, it's been well matured. It's got sort of got dust on the bottle, you know what I mean? Now, when you see a punk rock CD that's been handwritten, it gives it that charm, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No rich Warner Brothers label treatment, just fun people doing it on their own, and just right from the street level.
Yeah.
So that's it for that one. If you want to go to the next one.
Yeah, I've got 2 CDs. I thought I'd show me bargains. I think you know what they're going to be. And one was a real bargain. I like to show one. You may have heard. Well, you've heard of the band, definitely. Yeah, that's the bargain. And the first one I got was a Best of Striper. What we did last show, I got a best of.
Oh.
But the reason why I got it, because it had a lot of songs of Soldiers Under Command.
Yeah.
I'll pull it out because I thought, well, if it's going to be expensive, I'd rather have the songs I like on a best of than get the original CD. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the cover. And it was a good price. But the next one was a bargain. It's my favourite. Well, I could swap places with Soldier, but it's To Hell with the Devil. But this is an original UK release CD by the looks of it, or it must be very close. You can tell by the black plastic on the side. But I paid £5 English for that, plus a couple of quid postage and packaging. On Discogs are like 30 quid, and most of them on eBay will really triple that money. So I've got a bag in there, and I put my bid in. I put a tenner on its nose, and I want it for a £5. As you know, I hate the best track for me on that's Honesty. I know you don't like it, but yeah, I just thought I'd show. They're just 2 new additions I've got for the collection. at a bargain price.
Yeah. No, that's really good. Yeah, because I can't find those around.
No, I mean that to hell. It's an original, but judging by it, it's an original issue, and that is mega rare. I mean, Discogs is like 30 quid. I mean, on eBay, it probably fetched 20 quid over it.
Yeah. No, that's and it looked like there was a lot of songs on there. It looked like there was about 15 or 20 tracks or something. I don't know how many there was.
On the compilation, there's 18.
Yeah, well, that's pretty darn good because if you can pick and choose 3 of the 4 best
Yeah.
songs, the first couple of, I don't know if In God We Trust is on there. It looked like they showed 3 album covers, so maybe it's the first 3 albums. But if In God We Trust isn't on there, it's just
it's on there. In God We Trust.
Oh, good.
1988.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's really nice. I like that cover too. That's a great album cover. I love their logo.
Yeah.
Great logo. Yeah, good addition. Okay, I guess I could go, huh?
Yeah.
Here's another guy whose logo I love.
Oh, yeah.
Pat Travers Band.
Yeah.
Seeing him a few times live. And again, you have to kind of pick and choose what songs, but my favorites, I don't know if it's on here, Hammerhead, but it's my favorite instrumental song of all time, bar none. It's a speed metal thing almost from about
Sorry, mate. Hang on a sec. I'll do the screen. It's my fault.
Okay, just an anthology.
That's it. If you show the inside again, please. My fault. That's it. Cheers. Wow.
Kind of plain, but the live, there's 4 live tracks, and live is where he's heavier and faster and better. And Tommy Aldridge has been on drums. And if that's from the first live Pat Travers album, then Tommy Aldridge would have been the drummer.
Did Nico McBain out of Iron Maiden play for him as well? I'm sure he did.
Yeah, he would be on some of these songs, I would think.
Yeah.
But Rock and Roll Susie, it's almost dumb to mention the songs if you don't know the songs, but yeah, there's 4 live tracks from the album. Go for What You Know. Yeah, from 1979. These 4 songs, that's almost half of the live album, which is... This is the live album. 4 of those songs came off of it. And there's a great album cover again. That'd be a perfect rock shirt. But yeah, Tommy Aldridge is on there somewhere.
Yeah. Well, he's a candidate for the best drummer in the world for me at the moment. What do you think?
Yeah, if I could pick one drummer. Yeah, I saw him live with Whitesnake about 5 or 6 years ago, and I couldn't believe how good he was. So, and he's about 60 or 70 or whatever he is. But he's a ball of energy. We'll talk about this album one of these days.
Yeah.
King Scott Waters about live albums. Because that's a must. Especially the song Makes No Difference. The last song. Yeah. I rarely ever yell for a song to be played. Maybe I've only done that a couple times my whole life, but one time when I saw Pat Travers, I kept yelling Makes No Difference, and it didn't make any difference at all, me yelling, because he didn't play it. But
it's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, but this anthology is pretty handy just as a catch-all of, there's a lot of really good songs. Rock and Roll Susie's a great song. And anyway, yeah, you don't know the songs, but anyway, yeah, that's a Canadian guy that doesn't get enough credit.
I don't know how I come across with my album. I think it must be something I picked with a jumble, because it's something I would definitely not have bought back in the day. But I'm sure it's the one with Nico McBain on it, and that's how I thought, wow, I can't believe that he played with Pat Travers. I'll have to pull it out. I'll show it at a future show so you can see it.
Yeah, I've got it here. I've got it over there, but I'd have to dig through a bit.
It's one with Nico McBain on, because I thought he plays Iron Maiden now. I never realised he played for Pat Travers. It was quite a shock.
Yeah.
Because that other bloke, what's that? He's not Dutch. He's from Newcastle in Iron Maiden. He used to play for a famous band as well. Not Adrian Smith or Janet Gears. And he used to play for a famous band. I can't remember who it was. Somebody in the audience might know. But Janet Gears, he played for somebody famous as well, didn't he? I know Bruce Dickinson was in Samson.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll see if I can punch it up. How do you spell his last name?
G-W-E-R-S, probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a picture of the guitarist.
Spirit.
British guitarist born in Hartlepool. Oh,
Hartlepool. It's up north, mate. Spirit. Ian Gillan Band as well. Yeah, that's it, I think.
Ian Gillan Band.
Yeah, that's it. I knew he played with quite a famous Ian Gillan Band.
Yeah. I'll take me too long. I don't want to stare and.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
But yeah.
But thanks, John, for that. Yeah, sorry, Graham, for that.
Yeah, that's.
And John. Yeah, I knew because Janet Gears, he had pedigree as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I didn't know that. So he was in those bands before?
Yeah. Then he came into Iron Maiden because Dave Murray left. Sorry, not Dave Murray, the other guy, Adrian Smith left. And he made that record I absolutely hate. Well, everybody say it's great, but I think it's a piece of rubbish. I'm sorry, but I'll go down on record. I don't like it at all.
Which one?
I'll get into more arguments than that record. And they got Janet Gears in. And they had 3 guitarists, and they didn't want to get rid of Janet, so they kept the 3 guitar lineup.
So what album don't you like?
John's just says Silver and Gold. It's one with a naked woman in it. Now a lot of people like it. I'll be a hypocrite if I said I did. I think it's a piece of junk. I've played it it's one of these records. I've got it on vinyl, and I've played it quite a few times just to see if I like it or not. And I just think it's a big ego trip on a record. That's the way. If I was a critic, that's how I'd describe it. Yeah, John agrees with me as well. It's a piece of junk.
What band is that?
It was a solo album. He left Iron Maiden, Adrian Smith, and he made his solo album.
Oh, okay, a solo album. Okay.
And everybody said it's brilliant. I said it's not. It's a piece of rubbish. I've always said it's junk. It's an ego. It's an ego trip on a record.
Well,
and you know it's going to be bad because he's got a naked ASAP. That's it. You know it's going to be bad because he's got a naked woman on. Now, if anybody is watching, never, ever, ever buy a heavy metal record with a naked woman on. To me, that is the first sign it's not going to be very good. And when you open it in a cover, it has a naked girl on or something. And yeah, it's just I can't remember how much I paid for it. It was about £1, I think I paid for mine. It's worth quite a lot of money now. But yeah, it's just a piece of garbage. That's off my chest. Next.
Oh, it's fun here because everyone likes different stuff. So yeah, that's funny.
I must admit, I'm looking forward to having Dan on again and doing the Iron Maiden because it's going to be a tough one. I know which is going to be my CD. I'm not saying anything, but it's going to be a tough one, like you say.
Oh, you already have a fit. Well, once you start listening to them again, you might change your mind. You never know.
Yeah, hopefully. But a couple I wanted to show, I've burnt them apparently. I'll replace them. When I say burnt them in my collection, it means I've overplayed them. And I literally smashed. I'm on my second or third copy of Holford Live. Do you know when you play them so much, they get all this stuff. And I must have played it thousands of times, and it's probably gone or it's hiding. And it wants to replace them, sort of like a couple of quid, and they're really good. Do you know what I mean? But I've got a feeling the one I wanted to show, I burnt it, so I'll have to come up with another one.
Yeah. So I guess it's your turn.
Yeah. Hang on. So I've got this record. Yeah, because you showed this in a previous show. I must admit I haven't got around to hearing it, but I thought it was a funny story behind this. Remember, he showed this. He said, "Have you got this?"
Oh, yeah.
Well, there was a story behind it.
That's
I
a
was
love that.
looking for completely something different, and that's why I started pulling all my stuff out because I wanted to find my Slayer live album. And guess what was behind it? That I thought, well, yep, I've got it. I'll have to show Greg that I've got it.
So when's the last time you've heard it? Years?
I can't remember, mate. Probably not recently.
Because I dug it out to listen to it, but I couldn't find it this morning. And I did a video today because I was going to show it on a video, but I didn't find it, so I did other albums. But yeah, I love that album. That's just so raw, so just perfect small club heavy rock. It's almost like Canada's Motorhead, but they only had the one album. And it's just right. Just play it simple, play it loud and fast, and
I'll give it a spin tomorrow.
Songs about wrestling, which is funny because wrestling was so popular. Well, it still is, but yeah, TV wrestling. So I don't know.
Yeah, I hate that sport. I was in a pub one night, and I can't remember where I got. I was in London. I don't think I was in Telford, and I met this fella. He was ever so nice. We were talking about what he did for a living. I said, "Well, what do you do for a living?" He said, "I'm a choreographer." And I thought he was a dancer. You know, when you do all the dancing and stuff, that he taught people how to dance. No, he was a wrestling choreographer. You know, all these big wrestlers, the WWF. I mean, these are big league wrestlers. I don't know what they call it. You know, the big league in America. He used to orchestrate all the fights. I said, so it is fixed then. He says, what do you think? And they used to get him, and it's all choreographed. And I was quite shocked. Apparently, he was quite famous as well. And he said he was a huge level. It wasn't small time. It was big level. And I think he did some big fights. But you see, he was a wrestling choreographer.
Wow. Yeah, when I was a teenager, once a week they had this thing, All Star Wrestling. So it was out of Vancouver and it was shown across Canada. But I used to go to the studios because I live right near the TV studios. So I'd go into the crowd and we'd be in the crowd watching the wrestling while they do the TV 1 hour tape it show and then show it later in the week so we could see ourselves on TV. And we got to end up cheering for all the bad guys. So that would get all the people just riled up because we're cheering, stomping our feet for the bad guy. And then they'd get all mad. And it just turned into a nut house, which was what you want, right, for wrestling. Just a small, about 8 benches worth of fans, 100 people or whatever. But it was really so much fun because it was just, we got the referee talking, we love you, Steel, or whatever, and he'd always comb his hair. Comb your hair, Steel. So he'd bring out his comb right during the match. So he's combing his hair, and it was just all a comedy. It was beautiful. I loved it actually back then.
Yeah, because in Britain, our wrestling was different to yours. It was sort of real wrestling, in small town halls and stuff. You had the celebrities and stuff, but it was real wrestling. It wasn't sort of choreographed or people got seriously hurt. You know, you had blokes like 30 stone throwing like Big Daddy and giant haystacks. And when they hit you, it was real, believe you me. And you had guys you saw blood. Now they won't be allowed to do it under Health and Safety Act. But that was wrestling. And all of a sudden we got invaded by the American stuff. Then wearing these silver sort of briefs and all these blonde hairs. And I thought, nah, this is just showmanship. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, well.
But you met in the Brits, our wrestling. We used to do it at school. It was compulsory. And, you had to do wrestling. We used to do it on a mat. And we'll get to you in a sec, John. And, we used to do it on a mat. And it was refereed. And it was like they put the mats out. And we used to wrestle each other at school. And, it was a real McCoy. You used to do it for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would hurt.
Over to you, Greg. You got a question, mate?
Yeah, I don't know much about the Heel Walkers. When that album, show the album cover again, because I worked at a radio station at the time, and that was just one of the new releases that came out. A stack of CDs I would kind of go through and hope there's one rock album. And I just looked at that cover and I went, one guy looks like Fast Eddie Clark, and I thought, well, that might be good. And instantly from the first note, I really liked it. It's just it's like Motorhead in a way, just rock and roll. Oh, there might be a concert picture there, but they're from back east in Canada. I don't know if it's from Nova Scotia or but way across the country from me, but um, I don't know if they ever got big back there. But there's some excellent footage on YouTube of them live. Some guy, I've sent it to you years ago, but some guy in the crowd, I don't know if he was standing on a chair, but he kind of he could film the crowd perfectly, and then he'd move to the band and just zoom in on the band and then back to the crowd, and the crowd's just one of those beer swilling, fist in the air stompers, and it's excellent. What's the last song on that album?
US Dirty Fingers.
Oh yeah, I don't like the lyrics in that. That's the only sad part about that, and that's the only really song I didn't like the lyrics, because I don't really like sexual innuendo lyrics. But the ending on that, for studio songs, that might be my favorite studio song ending, because it ends, but then like Motorhead, where they do is it Bomber, where I can't remember what song but it sounds like it ends, then it keeps going, then it ends, and then it keeps going. But anyway, that just has a long power chord, and then build up one more note power chord, and it's almost comical. But if I was in a band, I would do that. So yeah,
I mean, there's songs like Rattlesnake Boogie, Rocking with Secca, and I'm not one track. I'm not going to say it's a rocker, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's probably a cheap deal, but it's probably kind of
it's got Broadington Records. I'm not going to tell you the address, but it's in Nova Scotia, Canada.
Okay, Nova Scotia. Yeah. So I don't know because that's a really that's the only album I've ever seen on that label. I don't know if any other albums. So it's a small label, but hopefully
I don't want to give the address out just in case they get into trouble under some data law or something.
The album might even be on YouTube, the whole thing. I don't know. I can just that's easy to check up. Even just to hear one song by them is worth it. Oh, I'm looking up the wrong thing, but anyway, while I'm doing that, you can go to another album, or is it my turn?
I think it's your turn.
Okay. Well, I'm going to.
Yeah, take your time, mate. We got all night.
Yeah.
Or in your case, you got all day.
Yeah, there's a bunch of live stuff. It might be the track El Camino from May 17th, 2002 that has the audience recording. And there's a few. There's only a few songs on that. There's a 16-minute video actually of them live. Maybe that's the one. 16 minutes long. Heel Rockers live at Tumbleweed Fest, Halifax, Nova Scotia, June 5th, 24. Yeah, I think that's the one. Because it just kept going, and their ending is good on the live too. But there's a couple of those studio tracks are on YouTube, not the whole album, but at a quick search. But anyway, okay. From the Hill Walkers, we go to. Now, when I did a radio show, I would always make a note of what songs I would play on the radio. And this album has a lot of songs. It's only a 1-disc set. I probably picked about almost all of them. But yeah, there's Twisted Sister Club Days. This is the Twisted Sister I like because it's the earlier stuff.
Yeah.
But live in the bars, so before they got big and popular and
because people don't realize that with Twisted Sister. Yeah,
they were a hardworking band, and a book that I've been watching for about 2 years. It came out. One of the guys' names is J.J. French.
Yeah,
and there's a book, I can't remember the title of the book, but it's a autobiography, and they have quite an interesting story. But it's always $25. Like it's always expensive, so. But I keep looking on it on Amazon, hoping used copy. But yeah, this is the real deal. And King Scott Waters got to see Twisted Sister around this early era too.
Yeah,
lucky guy. Yeah, we're just nobody's compared to King Scott Waters.
No,
but that's quite the booklet, and even on the back of. But it has the only DOA's "Disco Sucks" is a better anti-disco song than. I always forget the name of it though. I don't know if it's on this. But,
hang on a sec.
Go ahead, caller.
No, I better not. I better not risk it. So I might have an accident. Knowing my luck.
I don't think it's on there. I can't remember I always forget it all the time, but they have a great anti-disco song, like "Disco is Gonna Die," and
Yeah, no, I've got it on I can see the CD from there, but I've got a cable for the Wi-Fi going straight across. And I know what will happen if I stand up. I'm going to trip over it, and it's going to end this show. So what I'll do is I'll show it next week.
sure.
And yeah, hello, Aaron. And yeah.
Oh, hey, Metal Theologian. Wow.
Oh wow, yeah, but yeah,
he'd probably like this album.
yeah, Twisted Sister. We're talking early sister, Aaron. Early Twisted Sister.
At least at the moment, we're doing random CDs. Like this stupid light.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. Where's the cover? Just in case you missed what one we're talking about. There's a Club Days Volume 2 as well. It's a pink.
Yeah,
cover.
I've got them both. I'm sure I have.
Them. Oh, good. Those are my go-tos. I've got a couple other live albums, but I like these better. They're just more as if they're FM broadcasts or some of them, or I don't know. I'd have to read the liner notes, but yeah, I really like the early Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
They're really good early on. Yeah. Even my wife even wears a Twisted Sister shirt. I've got a really nice one upstairs, but yeah, so she likes D and that. So
unfortunately, it was me to rediscover that, because I remember when they come out with all the big hits in the early 80s. My nan, she used to run away. She couldn't take Dee Snider in his garb, and she would literally run out the room when he came on. And yeah, so I knew with the Twisted Sister when they were in the charts. And yeah, they're one of my favourite metal bands, glam bands, whatever you want to call it. But going back to the early days, because Dee Snider, apparently he didn't join them late, he joined them really early. And I know they were touring for years. They didn't become famous overnight. They had to work at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I watched it. Weren't they on the Tube TV show? The Tube. Is that a TV show over where?
Yeah, it's a UK Tube. It's I'm just trying to think of is a female host. Was it a female host? Yeah. Yeah, they probably were. I know they would have been on the Grey Whistle test. They definitely were on top of the pops, because that "We're Not Gonna Take It" was an anthem. But I've got about the latest Twisted Sister album. Hang on a minute. I'm going to risk it, Greg.
Okay, I'll
hang on a sec. I'm going to unplug and risk it.
Okay.
So I've got the record right in front of me. Okay, Sorry about this.
I wonder what the early single song name was that was just posted online here. And recent releases. If Twisted Sister has recent releases, I don't know. I don't know when they last put out an album, if that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
When's the last time Twisted Sister put a studio album out? I have no idea.
I know the answer to that.
Oh, you know the answer? Oh, that's good. That's why it's your show.
No, it's yours as well.
Yeah. No, I'm the Barney Rebel. You're the Fred Flintstone. Unless you'd rather be Wilma and I'll be Betty.
Oh. Hang on a sec. I've got the record right here.
Their most recent studio release?
No.
Oh.
Hang on a sec. Oops. It's all gone nuts here.
Yeah, that's good. That's more fun to watch.
That's the problem with CDs.
Now, if you can knock some plates off the shelf and smash them, that'd even be better.
Yeah, rock and roll, isn't it?
I'd watch every one of your episodes if you do stuff like that.
Hang on, I think I'm set now. I know Dee Snider, I think they've reformed. Hang on a second.
Oh, I know Dee did some solo albums. I think not too long ago, but I don't know about the band.
Hang on a second, I'm just going to get it straight.
But you're the brains of the outfit. You're the brains.
That's it. Rocket Rod's got it.
Oh.
yeah, this is the record I wanted to show originally. And this is Twisted Sister live at the Astoria. But I thought it's one of these records I pulled out to show tonight because Greg pulled out a Twisted Sister. But I think they do reform to do certain shows. This is I wouldn't say recent, but it's a good one.
Oh yeah, I think I've got that too. Yeah.
Yeah, he talks about his disco because he absolutely hated disco and all this stuff. Oh, flipping heck.
Yeah.
I knew that should. Luckily, I haven't broke it. Yeah.
Can you knock over your China cabinet too? Because that'll be it will be internet sensations.
I'm gonna have to start collecting vinyl again. I think it's a lot easier. Yeah, this is one of the recent Twisted Sister gigs. Well, I think they meet up eventually, but I don't think much of the Dee Snider's two recent solo efforts. Some of it I like, some of it I don't like. The last one I thought was a bit under my own opinion. No problem at all, brother. The last one I thought was a bit underwhelming. But yeah, I was going to originally show this tonight. This is quite a recent Twisted Sister live. It's definitely worth buying. It's 100. If you see this, buy it. I've got one. I think it's slightly more recent.
Does that have a cover of "It's Only Rock and Roll, But I Like It" by the Stones? Because I've seen them do that live. I think they did it live in England, and it's an extended version, a long version, and it's great.
No, it hasn't.
No, okay, because that was their go-to.
Because I've got the rare one, because I don't know if you remember, Motorhead played at the same venue. I think it was the Hammy in London, and Twisted Sister were on a week later. And Dee Snider moaned that when Motorhead played, Lemmy's fans were allowed to come to the front of the stage. But when Twisted Sister played, his fans had to sit down. And it was in all the newspapers. I remember reading about it at the time. And I've got the actual record somewhere. I couldn't believe it. And you actually hear Dee Snider, absolutely, it's a boot, but he absolutely kicks off on stage about the Motorhead situation. He said, well, Motorhead were here last week. You could come up to the stage. But Dee Snider, Twisted Sister here, you got to sit down. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That's the booklet. That's Modern Sister. I don't think they ever split up. I think they just get together.
I think it's Dee Snider was the newer guy, and I think a couple of the guys that really formed it were from the Bronx or something, or somewhere deeper in New York, and he was from Long Island, so he always felt like the outsider, and he was younger, I think, too, but he always had to really prove himself.
Yeah.
The other guy was the main man. Then finally, Dee just got more and more trying to take over just to show you guys, he wasn't trying to show the fans or the record company. He's trying to show his bandmates that I deserve to be the man, and he really earned it and won it over in the end. But yeah, he had to really work for it because he was kind of the outsider, from the more nice part of town versus the more harder guys and younger guy. So that's interesting. For the Love of Metal live is a great live album. Heaps of Twisted Sister. I haven't heard of that album. Have you heard of that album?
No.
For the Love of Metal.
I might have got it somewhere. I'll have to have a look for it. I might have got it. I don't know. With Twisted Sister, it's one of these bands. I don't know what I've got. And, I've got so much of their stuff. And I'm just looking at my signal's not very strong. So if I go off, you know what's going to happen. It's my internet connection. Oh, it should be all right. But yeah, when it comes to Twisted Sisters, my most prized possession is I've got Come Out and Play on vinyl, genuinely signed.
Oh, wow. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking up. It looks like it's a studio album. For the Love of Metal is the fourth studio album by Dee Snider, released in 2018.
Yeah, I've got it then.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard of it.
I think if it's D. Schneider, I've got it. I've got a couple of his solo albums. One
Yeah.
side on one's good, the other side not so good. But I only liked a few of the songs.
Does he cover songs? Are they all original songs, or does he do cover songs?
As far as I can remember, they're all original. I think
Okay.
he wrote them. But the first one he did, I've got, it was decent. Half of it was anyway. I think Scott said that as well when he was reviewing it. He said half it was good. And I said, yeah, I wrote when he did it on YouTube, I agreed with him. Like, I found one side good, one side weren't good. The last album, I wasn't impressed. His last solo album I've got, I don't know when it came out, probably in the last 2 or 3 years. I wasn't impressed. It was just a, normal album.
Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, well, I guess that's our Twisted Sister section. I'll see how many I've got left. I've got
Stay by, Rocket. We've got some of you coming up, some Australian metal. You must be psychic tonight, brother.
Well, that's funny you say Australian music because I just did a What's Spinning video I'm going to post probably later tonight. And 2 of the 3 bands I showed were Australian.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were Australian until I started reading the liner notes and stuff. So, yeah. I guess I'll since he's on the air, I'll say the band's names if he's heard of them because they're kind of obscure to me. But Coratini and Massive. But they're up. Where are they? Those records, the CDs. I may as well show them here too. What the heck? I'll dig them out.
Okie dokie.
So just sing a song or something.
Will do. We'll have a commercial break, and we'll think of something. Yeah, it's one of these shows tonight, John. We haven't done it. We have to get stuntmen and get body doubles or something. Because it's getting seriously dangerous. This is. I've nearly tripped over from cables. I don't know what Greg will trip. If you hear a scream, we know it's gone south for Greg.
I'll ward off any bad vibes. Yeah, here's the Massive. Cortini. Oh, he knows a Cortini. You're the only person in the world I've known that's known this band.
I've never heard of them.
They're really good. They're just a little bit AC/DC inspired, a little bit, but it still has kind of that foot stomping. Like this is one album. They've got a couple of live CD DVDs out. I didn't know that, and a couple other studio albums. So this was 2005, I think, or 7 or something. But yeah, this is really good. And then Massive is this album.
Yeah, I know that one.
Another Australian band.
That's the first one, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I don't know much about them at all. But I looked it up just before I did the.
No, hang on a minute. I've got confused. Forget I said that.
Okay. But I think they do have a couple albums out. I looked. He'll know more than me. Oh, Jimmy Barnes, yeah. I just gave King Scott Waters via the mail.
Yeah.
Jimmy Barnes live with Steve Morse of Deep Purple and Don Airy and a couple other guys. But anyway, a live album with Jimmy Barnes. They had one named, and can't remember the band, Living Loud. That's what it was. Massive's unknown to you. Oh, and they, the big surprise, I'm blowing it because, well, no one watches my videos anyway, but they do a couple of cover songs at the end. And one of them's If You Want Blood, You've Got It, AC/DC, which makes sense for Australian. Yeah, Living Loud, yeah. And the other was Rats in the Cellar from Aerosmith, which is a 10 out of 10. And if anyone says, because Aerosmith to me is, their early stuff is the good stuff, not Jamie's Got a Gun and Love in an Elevator. Those are horrible songs. I hate them. But Rats in the Cellar is one of the best songs in rock history, and they do a great version of it live. So
right.
You know where they're coming from when they're covering heavy Aerosmith and good AC/DC. But anyway, yeah, I play some of the songs. You'll hear it on the video, but you won't hear it till tomorrow because you'll be Betty by time. But anyway, Massive.
It'll be a surprise. I'm a film in arrears with your videos. I'll have to watch the last one tonight, or watch them tomorrow. So I was planning on watching it tonight.
Oh yeah, and here's what Massive looks like. Yeah. And also, they're gonna play in England with Blue Oyster Cult and Richie Blackmore's Rainbow about 8 years ago, and I was gonna go. And plus, they had a record record fair and everything for it too. So I thought, wow, that'd be great. But and it didn't go. And speaking of Blue Oyster Cult, they're playing tomorrow night, but it's 500 miles or 800 kilometers away. And I was thinking of going, but the weather here in Canada isn't good for traveling, so I'm missing Blue Oyster Cult and Foghat. That's a bummer. But anyway, there's that. Yeah.
Well, you could catch him again.
Well, it's just they're getting almost my age, so that's like 1.5 feet in the grave. So you kind of have to go when you can. But anyway, you can go to another one now if you want.
Yeah, well, mine are two Australian. Tonight's question: who inspired who? I think Rocket will know this. Rod. Now I've got Rose Tattoo. And this is a killer record. I really like this one. Right. And I may be wrong, but I think that one of the guys out here recently passed on, or recently. And that's the Rose Tattoo CD, 25 to Life. Then I pulled out AC/DC 1981 in Tokyo.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's a good era then.
Yeah. So I want to know who inspired who. That's what I thought would be up for discussion tonight. So I was thinking that the other day. Because everybody talks to me about AC/DC. I said, yeah, well, you want to listen to Rose Tattoo?
Well, this is a good one. BOC, yeah. Oh, my favorite of all time. Yeah, I've seen them live a few times. Yeah. Blue Oyster Cult, so underrated. Their first live album, double live album, is incredibly underrated. It's just as heavy because they were trying to be the American Black Sabbath. So they were heavy, but great guitaring, really melodic, and the singing. That first live album, and even on Amazon, I've been looking at the Blue Oyster Cult On Your Feet or On Your Knees first live album just to hope the price was down, but they have it remastered because it's such a, I don't know if grungy is the word, but it's just such a raw sound, a heavy sound. I wonder what it would be like, nice and clear. Rose Tattoo inspired.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm wondering who, because they're both mid-70s when they started, I guess, but I don't know. On Your Feet or On Your Knees. But I love Some Enchanted Evening too, but I'll take the first one over Some Enchanted Evening, even though Kick Out the Jams version on Some Enchanted Evening is 10 out of 10. That's cover of MC5 song. It's unreal. And Astronomy off Some Enchanted Evening, like they're both fantastic albums. Well, he knows that. I think they're way better live than in studio. But
what we're talking about, Blue Oyster, yeah, or Rose Tattoo?
Blue Oyster Cult. But anyway, here's some Rose Tattoo.
I think I've got that record on a vinyl as well. That's one I've got.
So I don't know what years these are, though.
I'd say late 70s, early 80s. So they got one of their songs. I was just trying to think. I'm sure it'll be on here. Was covered by Guns N' Roses, I believe.
Oh, really?
Nice Boys Don't Play Rock and Roll. I'm pretty sure that was Guns N' Roses did that one.
Oh, wow. Because I don't like Guns N' Roses, but they picked a great song there. And I noticed on this one, says recorded at Albert Studios, Sydney, Australia, produced by Vanda and Young for Albert Productions. So there's your AC/DC guys right involved with this album. Wish I could type as fast as you blokes speak. Yeah, I know. He knows more than us put together. I mean, yeah, he'd have more to say than us. We're just faking it. That's amazing.
I'll make a confession online. I was sorting my table up last night, and I think I'm going nuts because I had my pile of Judas Priest CDs. I put them down on my top, ready to go back on the rack. A minute later, I thought, where did I put that pile of Judas Priest? And it took me 20 minutes to find them, and they were right in front of me. And I think my brains are going slowly, my brain cells.
Oh, well, tell me about Key's wallet phone. That's my claim to fame. I'm missing one of them all the time. But remember,
I chuck mine on the floor. I do. Since I moved to this flat, they go on the floor by the door, well, not the front door, and I just sling them anywhere on the floor. and that's where I keep my keys. You can't lose them that way.
I know. That's the guy's way of thinking. If you start cleaning up and tidying stuff and putting it where it belongs, you never know where it is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll show something here.
And me, Rod. I'm a 66 model as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, England won the World Cup, and I missed it. The only year we've ever. Oh, that's my joke. The only year we won the World Cup, and I was born about 2 months too early. I wish I'd been alive and could have watched us win the World Cup, but I was born in the World Cup year, and we go win the World Cup. I wasn't out the womb yet. Well, I was, but I was 6 weeks old.
Yeah. Is it your turn? I can't.
No, it's your turn, mate.
Yeah, he doesn't remember it. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder why.
I'm talking about the Football World Cup, Rod. I'm not going to mention the rugby.
Yeah. Is that my turn now?
Yeah, please, Greg. Show a couple, mate.
Well, the cover's broken on it, but I should take it out of the... Because Jeff McCormick he talks about this guy all the time, but it's...
Thor, yeah.
Read that? Into the Noise. I was supposed to say Thor in the middle there, but Into the Noise. And here's his band. Yeah, he's definitely well worth watching live, that's for sure.
Yeah. The Iron Bender.
Yeah. And that's kind of a waste, but yeah, it's just one of the studio albums from I don't know what year. Why don't they make this print bigger, Scott? His fault. I can't see, but anyway.
Scott Waters didn't do it, that's why.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, legendary King Scott Waters. But for my radio show, and I get picky about what songs I would play, but I liked a lot. Well, you can't see it, but almost every song I thought was worthy of the radio. So,
must be good then.
Throw in Thor, little Canadian heavy metal, true metal.
Yeah. Well, my next one, I better not show me next one because everybody will go, so I'll leave it till last. But I just got this one. Rest in peace, Bob Catley. A member died out of this a few weeks back. So I pulled it out just to say rest in peace. A local band to me, Magnum. It's a very proggy sort of rock band. And yeah, it's a great band. The early stuff is definitely well worth picking up. You'll definitely be surprised, like Soldiers of the Line and all sorts of goodness on there. But yeah, it's a very, very best of Magnum. Rest in peace.
Yeah, I've heard they're too proggy for me.
Yeah.
But I know they have some good album covers.
They do. It's phenomenal, yeah.
Isn't it the guy from Yes or whatever, or whoever that one guy is that does those weird paintings? I don't know what you call it. I can't remember his name, but some famous guy did Magnum, greatest punk rock band on the planet and beyond. Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, so one of the guys, I forgot who it was now, because I know they split up and they went into two bands because it was on our news. And apparently you had two of them. The one who recently died, they formed the original Magnum. But some of the band, they formed another band named after one of the Magnum songs. And they were performing in Birmingham and all this stuff. And that was a few years back. And yeah, it was sad, but yeah, they were a phenomenal band. And to say, if anybody watching this hasn't discovered them yet, you won't be disappointed.
I would be. Do you like it better than 2112 Rush?
No.
Okay, there we go. Because that's sort of progressive rock. That album.
Kingdom of Madness, that's right, Rod. Yeah. They were doing the pub tours and stuff, and it was sad. But I don't know what happened, but it was obviously something happened. And they, I know that that's a cracking song, Kingdom of Madness. It's one of my favourite songs. But yeah, they sort of formed another band, and it was all getting nasty. And last I heard, I don't know if they released it, but the original Magnum were releasing a new album, whether they released it or not. And I read they couldn't get a distributor or something for it, or something happened.
Okay, I guess I'll go then. Okay. This is a band my wife and I drove, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 hours to go see a couple of years ago.
Oh, Styx.
Do you like them? I know Mr. Roboto is one of the worst songs in rock history, but
yeah,
broke up the band. But you got to get the early stuff.
Yeah, you have to make me a list out, and I shall buy it. And because all we got was, I got the album with Mr. Vinyl with Mr. Roboto. I bought it at the time it came out. I'm sure I'm going to have to look. I'm not. Yeah, and that was huge hit over here. And some of the Styx after that I probably heard, but you have to make me a list out, so I'll have to reintroduce myself to that band and listen to the early stuff.
Oh yeah, because the Grand Illusion was big here. So, and the early stuff, Grand Illusion, Equinox, and Crystal Ball, those 3 albums. Can't even get this thing out of the cover, but that's it. When in doubt, rip it. But yeah, this is a live album. Grand Illusion live, Fooling Yourself, Sweet Madam Blues, a great song. Come Sail Away. Yeah, the whole track listing on this is excellent, actually. If I was going to recommend one live album, because they have another live album called Caught in the Act, and it's a little more long-winded, but there's kind of a waste.
What's that album again?
It's called The Grand Illusion Live.
And that's the one you recommend, yeah?
Yep.
I just made a note of it.
Yeah, because it just has 7 songs, but it has Sweet Madam Blue is it's sort of the power ballad thing, but the guitaring is great. Babe was huge here. I hate that song, Babe. Yeah, that's terrible. Why does Mr. Roboto and Babe, they're 2 of the worst Styx songs, but they're the 2 most popular. I mean, out of 99% of the people.
Mr. Roboto, it sort of gets in your head. It's one of these earwig songs. What, you can't get rid of it.
Yeah, that's like a 0. That's on the level of country music and Me Too. Yeah, that's too. Yeah, but Lady, that's how we were talking about this song, Lady, the other day with who did a song, Lady?
Striper.
Yeah, Striper. Yeah, that's a whole different song though. This is a whole
Striper.
different one.
So sorry. So that Lady's a Striper song, is it, or was it before?
No. They're all different. They're just the same title, whole different song.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but this one has a little more guitar in it than the Striper. But yeah, that's kind of a weird. I don't even know what label put this out. It just seems like a bootleg feel to it. Plastic Soho, 2012 Plastic Soho. Never heard of that label, but yeah, I just throw some Styx because one album battle I've always told myself I should do, but I don't know if anyone would watch it. But the Styx Crystal Ball versus Equinox. It's just like Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules. Like they're just exactly the same kind of album, just a little bit different. But it's got the fast song here and the big ballad with the guitar power chords at the end, and very similar albums. But yeah, I've seen them live back then, and I saw them on. I don't know when this was. I can't remember what year this show was, but I did see them in '78 in Grand Illusion tour and really liked them live.
Did that wear all? Cause they're a weird band. They used to wear all suits on stage and funny band. You know, was that when they wore all the suits or something? They used to wear funny clothes and stuff.
Not funny clothes, but they were well dressed. Like this guy's got his white suit and he's got the dress. Yeah, they're like a real well dressed band. They weren't.
Yeah, it's strange. I have to sort of start listening to their stuff.
Well, yeah, no, you have to pick and choose the heavy songs and scrap the mellow ones, but that's like every band.
How would you describe Styx AOR?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, me too, probably.
But that's too bad because they rocked, especially the earlier stuff. Then they got worse because they got more album oriented instead of hard rock. They used to be. They're from Chicago. They're kind of they were a heavier rocky band at the start. Then they turned into electronic and whatever, just weird
proggy.
Stuff. Proggy, yeah, kind of proggy, yeah.
Yeah. Because when they came over here, it was that album. I don't know, what's it called? The one with Mr. Roboto on?
Oh, I don't know. Pieces of Eight, maybe. something. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah, that's the album that broke him over here. It was that Mr. Roboto. I think it got high in the charts. It was number 1 or number 2. And I've got a few of them. I'll have to dig them out, but I've got a few of their records in the bedroom.
So I've got 3 left. How many do you have left?
I've got 3 as well. I've got 4, but I'll leave the last one to last. I know might get us kicked off the air, so I think there's a story behind it. But you know what it is. I actually bought it the other day, so I thought I'd show it.
Well, I'm talking about Babe and Mr. Roboto, so I should get kicked off the air just for saying those songs out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go again just because this is around the same lines. It's a band that.
Oh yeah, lovely. I like them.
Again, you have to get the early stuff because it was more rocky until they got into. Roll with the Changes is a great song, but this is just a live album.
There were 70s and 80s, weren't they? So they were huge over here because they had some big hits, didn't they?
Yeah, they got big when they started doing the ballads, which I hated.
Yeah, that's right.
But Roll with the Changes. Let's see. Oh, what's the main song? Riding the Storm Out. That's the big.
Yeah.
That's, rate that on the A level of rock ever. That's a great guitar song. 157 Riverside Avenue is another one. And Roll with the Changes was good because it was even a radio hit, but it was kind of rocky. But then Keep on Loving You's on here. I hate that song.
That's it. That's what I know them by.
Oh, that's horrible. That's like Ozzy, Mom, I'm Coming Home. I hate that song. And if that's the only song from Ozzy, you'll never listen to him. But you got to dig deep to the heavier cuts. But yeah, I got to see that. I had a free ticket for this when I worked at the record store, and I thought, I don't know. I guess I'll go just for something to do. But live, they were really, really good because it was about 77 when they put out their double live albums. So and their live album's quite good. Half of it's good, but it was more Midwestern U.S., just kind of heavy, hard rock. But then they got to the AOR, album-oriented. And then they got rich, of course. They were smart, the marketing, play the slow songs. And
yeah, in my defense, they came out about the same time as Supertramp, Breakfast in America, and that was my sort of go-to band.
Oh, you like them? I hate it.
I like Supertramp. I was sort of didn't have a choice because when that all came out, Breakfast in America and Logic Song, this woman, she used to be like our babysitter because obviously being 11 years old, we couldn't, had to be, chaperoned, looked after, like we couldn't do what we wanted. And she used to play Supertramp constant. And I said to her, well, what's this? Because it was, I'm sure it was Breakfast in America, or maybe one before. And I absolutely loved it. And I've been a fan ever since. That was Breakfast in America. And I bought the early stuff's good as well. It's very radio-y and poppy. It's sort of, because they were another band I think were put together by somebody else, but I may be wrong. They weren't formed themselves. Somebody put them together or something. But Roy Hodgkinson, the lead singer, he's still going. He's still doing the songs. But I don't think he's not going to release another album because he says he's not going to, pull that trigger yet. But he's still going. But yeah, that was Speedwagon and Tramp. I was more into Tramp, but Rio were big over here as well. But it's one of these bands I keep meaning to pick something up and I don't. You know what I mean? But I've been told they were very good, and I'll have to go into some of their stuff.
Well, with Supertramp, it was always the guys at high school with the short hair that didn't like the rock. They liked Supertramp and Yes and all this thinking man's rock. I was the dummy with the long hair who liked Ted Nugent and Aerosmith and Kiss and Rush and Black Sabbath. So it was kind of like a line in the sand for me. Well, same with Pink Floyd's on Supertramp side. I don't know.
I had no choice. So in my defence, I was the boy with the long hair. But I had no choice because, my babysitter, I couldn't very well say, turn this off. It was her record player and her electric.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I was only 11, but I liked it. And, you hear the songs, Breakfast in America, Logic Song and this stuff. And I've got all their records now, and I play them occasionally. It's a mellow, chill out song.
Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, we can't like everything the same. So, Anyway, you can go next if you want.
Yeah, well, I've got two records. I thought of you. This is, I think, the Seminole Riot live album. I think you'll agree. And a Porter Family, I think, was talking Riot Live. That's the good one, isn't it? That's the original one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You can't beat it.
Yeah.
And I've got this one. I think it's a later one. Shine On.
Oh, yeah. They may even do a cover of Smoke on the Water on Shine On, don't they?
Hang on a
I
sec,
know they
please.
cover Burn. I think they cover Burn as well, but I don't know which one's on there, if at all.
No.
No? Okay. Any cover song or just
Danny Boy, that could be a cover.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Huh.
Yeah.
Not many people have those live Riot albums, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, we was talking about it the other day. And I say I had preempted this show this week. I thought it'll be happening. So I pulled a lot of these records out. And so I thought if we did a show this week, I could show them like.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big one, isn't it?
That was a really rare one. It wasn't like a famous live album, but that would be the best one to get. Although they've got new releases of live albums from back then. Box sets. Even Harmless Rebel knows about them. They're box sets with about 5 CDs with a bunch of live shows from back in that day. And then they've got a volume 2 and I think volume 3. Harmless Rebel has them all. And some of them are fantastic. You're kind of hearing the same songs all the time, but various sound quality, so you can pick and choose. But yeah, the Riot Live box sets are grails. And funny, oddly enough, just a couple hours ago, I was looking on a t-shirt website. I typed in Riot Narita just to see, because they had the 25% off everything sale, and I thought, well, I wonder if they have a Riot Narita shirt, but they didn't. But which is good.
It's funny you mentioned that. I meant to show it, but I forgot. What's the second? That was the second Riot album, wasn't it? I actually got a copy at long last for £6, and I couldn't get it over here. It was like 20 quid, and I thought, I'm not paying that for a CD. This is ridiculous. I could get 3 or 4 for that price. So I never bought it for years, and it was a new one, brand spanking new. And I was going to say, has it been re-released or something? Because normally it means it has, and I got it for a really good price. It was about $5.99. So I've got a feeling it may have been re-released or something.
Yeah, Rock Candy Records label re-released it and fixed the sound or whatever. But that album sounds so perfect anyway. I don't know what they could improve. So yeah, it was re-released about 5 years ago, 8 years ago. I don't know. But yeah, that's great, especially if you've got the Rock Candy Records version.
It's strange. Pardon? Sorry, after you, I interrupted you. Sorry.
Oh, that's just one of my favorite albums of all time by anybody.
Yeah.
There's just no doubt. That should have been huge. That should have been bigger than any Van Halen album, but that's just me.
It's weird when you said that, because I was talking to a guy online. I know him, sort of never met the guy. But that must have been it. But he won't, he collects, he's principally a death metal head. He does like the stuff we like, and we're going to try and get him on the show because he actually works. He's a sound engineer. He's actually in the business. And he will not buy any engineered sound. He said in his record collection, he'll only buy the original recording. If they've been remastered or resounded or anything like that. So he reckons he destroys the CDs. And, I was talking to him and he said, he said apparently, when they originally, that's how they were tended. But as soon as they start remastering, he said, mess about with them too much. It just takes it all out of them. I don't know if you agree or not, or if anybody on here agrees or got any opinions on the subject. But it sort of takes out all the magic, you know what I mean? And just turns it into a...
Well, the first Striper album getting remastered and everything put it down a level to me, just like we talked about the other day. And Barren Cross first album, Rock for the King, was raw version, and then they had a reproduce that didn't sound quite as good. What did Rock Candy Records? Yeah, I wish I had all the Rock Candy record releases.
Oh, sorry, I didn't do that one. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, because they do Double Live Gonzo from Ted Nugent and all this stuff. Yeah, they've got a lot of obscure kind of lesser albums that are remastered. And Yeah, I haven't heard either of those albums for a long time. Yeah, Y&T I never quite got into. I've had them before.
I did. Who big time? I got all their vinyl. You sent me a couple
Oh,
of CDs. It was one of these bands back in the day. Nobody except for me liked, and I loved them. It was one of the bands that when they released, I bought their album, and yeah, fantastic band.
yeah, I remember the song Black Tiger I really liked. I can't remember. Yeah, Mean Streak, I know that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're catchy, good hard rock, catchy hard
yeah,
rock. But I've
yeah,
never seen it live or anything. I've actually never even looked them up on YouTube. I should actually.
yeah. Definitely worth a listen to. Really, really good band.
Yeah, those two songs. Yeah, and I've got a live. I think I even have a live album of theirs. I'll just see if I've
Yeah.
got it here. Have you seen their live album?
No, I don't think I've got anything live. I've got all mine in studio.
Oh, yeah, I'll show it
Yeah, I
to you.
must admit it's been a fair while since I've listened to them. So nothing, it's a sort of band I haven't listened to for maybe years. But I loved them when they come out, and I used to listen to them all the time. Yes, Y&T, brilliant band.
Yeah, I even pulled it out the other day. I might have even put it in your outbox or the Headbanging Zulu outbox. So I won't bother showing it if I can't find it. Yeah, never mind. But speaking of remastering, though, this is one album I always thought could use remastering. It just sounds a little not bright enough for me. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, Dave. Amazing. Yeah. I think they cover UFO. I think that guy Dave has covered. Haven't Y&T covered UFO before? Like even done Rock Bottom live? I can't remember, but anyway, I always thought this first Michael Schenker album could deserve a remaster.
Yeah,
Sounds a little muffled, or to me, so that's one of the rare ones that most normally I'd say don't touch them, but I always thought this one because this has some great songs on it. But
yeah, yeah. I'll have to try and get this guy on here because it'd be really, really interesting. And spot on with the Michael Schenker group. Yeah, I've got a couple of their. I've got an album of theirs.
yeah,
Bought that when it came out as well.
Yeah, Armed and Ready's a 10 out of 10. Cry for the Nations is a 10 out of 10. Victim Illusion could be a 10 out of 10. And I still like UFO more than the solo Michael Schenker, but I can't argue with those songs. I think Looking Out. No, what was it? There was one other song, unless it was on the second album, that was another 10 out of 10. But yeah, we could go on and on and on forever about Schenker.
Yeah.
Why there isn't a Schenker? Well, actually, there is in Vancouver, and they're playing in February 24th in Vancouver. I would love to go see them. There's a Scorpion or a Michael Schenker cover band, and man, they put some great videos, and they've done about 4 or 5 of them. They're called Coast to Coast, but they do Scorpions, UFO, and MSG songs. Like, can you imagine that at a concert? Just going, wow. Well, I've seen Michael Schenker live at Sweden Rock about 10 years ago with a couple original Scorpions with them. And so they did Love Drive, and then they would do UFO, and it was just excellent. Sunny day. Michael Schenker was smiling. I was right up front, and he's just having.
He had his V wing guitar.
Yeah, I love his guitar.
V.
Yeah, that's why I've got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was ever going to have a guitar, I'd have one of these.
Flying V.
I'm such a bloody dunce, I don't know how to play it, but it's a good piece of art to me. But
KK Downing, he played one as well, didn't he?
Yeah. I'd put it right upstairs, right by the TV, right on the wall as art, but I'm married, so you know how that's going to work.
Yeah, well, I've got one that's very underrated, and you put the idea in me, and I pulled this one out as my most unrelated. What you think of this band? And this is Tesla.
Oh, that's maybe the band that does the UFO covers. Geez.
Alive in Europe, this one's called. Because I know you like a good live album.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look at the track list. I can't see any songs that look like cover versions. That's the thing. But this has got to be one of the most underrated bands in rock or metal history or whatever you want. The guy here, he's got a phenomenal voice, and it's just I love it. I do.
Yeah, that's the band that does the Tesla Rock Bottom UFO cover. It's on YouTube too.
Yeah.
So they cover UFO, and the
Jeff
guitarist was
Keith.
fantastic.
Yeah, Jeff Keith. He's a great singer.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't own any of them. I missed
Buy
the
'em.
train. So did I. But if they could cover UFO's Rock Bottom, I mean, that gives them street cred instantly to me. That's one of the
Yeah,
greatest songs in rock history. If not, well, Freebird I'd take as number one, but
yeah.
Rock Bottom could be number two.
Yeah, well, I pulled it out tonight because I thought you didn't be interested. But yeah, check them out on the tube tonight, or if you got, or sorry, today for you. Check them out on the tube. But this guy could really sing, and I absolutely love them. I do. I think they're one of the most underrated bands. You probably pick them up quite cheap now, but yeah, Tesla, you can't beat them.
Yeah. And I've got two left.
I've got one left, but it might get everybody's turn off. So there is a little story behind it. I thought I'd show it, but I'll let you do your two, then I'll do my one, and shall we wind it up?
Sure.
Because I think what'll happen is, because yours are more macho than mine. If they see mine, I know at least one Rocket will probably, Rod will probably disappear.
Yeah. But I don't know if you know the song Green Grass and High Tides?
Yeah.
Well,
I've heard of the Rolling Stones album by that title.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm sure they did an album called Green Grass High Tides.
Oh, okay. That's all. I didn't know that. But yeah, that's no Stone Steve, please. Yeah.
Oh, I won't do. I won't do it then.
Yeah. Guess what I bought today?
Yeah, guess what I got?
I just bought this today.
Oh wow!
But it's a trader. I'm not gonna wear it. so I'm kind of on his side. I'm on Rocket Rod's side. Sorry, I know you.
Look what I was going to show. Happy Diamonds. Well, I won't bother now.
Heavy Diamonds?
Oh, sure. Hackney Diamonds.
Never heard of what Hackney Diamonds is.
It's a brand new Rolling Stone CD.
Oh, that's their new album. Oh,
yeah, but I got the concert deal in it, you see.
Okay, yeah.
Let's go back to your record. But yeah, I've heard of that because it was a Stones album or a Stones concert album.
Okay, and there is my last one anyway.
Oh, Saxon, yeah. Strong Arm of the Law.
And Denim and Leather. Both in the same package. My battery's going to die here pretty fast, too. But yeah, just the two studio albums.
Yeah.
Now, I did an album battle a long time. I don't know if it was between these two, but I don't know what I'd like better. Because the early Saxon. And I got to see them live a couple of times, actually, and they're amazing live.
Yeah, there's sort of always been a group in the background for me because that horrible one of their songs I really hate. Okay. That one about the aircraft or something. Was it Passengers? Yeah, you know what I mean.
747 Strangers.
Yeah, 747. I couldn't, and that's why I never bought any of their records when they come out.
Oh well, Denim and Leather live is just a perfect heavy metal song.
I mean, to me, that one is Judas Priest is Breaking the Law, and Saxon did Passenger 737.
Yeah, that song comes up a lot. Saxon or a Bomb. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, my batteries, I've got 4% left, so I'll let you go.
Brian Tatler now at a Saxon.
Officially? Oh, the guy from Diamond Head.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, that works.
Yeah. I know they're touring with Priest next year. or this year with Uriah Heep, because Ozzy was supposed to be on that tour, but he was too ill because they postponed it from a couple of years back when Ozzy was taken ill. It was supposed to be Ozzy, Priest, and Saxon, but I think Ozzy and Uriah Heep replaced him because he's too ill to perform now. And I must admit, last year I was very tempted to pull the trigger. And then I saw the price of the ticket because it's only down the road in Birmingham. And I said, no way, right? Plus for the fact, how much time of each band are you going to get? I mean, Priest will be on for what, half an hour, 3/4 an hour? Uriah Heep, and how will the time be distributed amongst the band? Do you know what I mean? And I'm sorry, but I don't really want to go and see Judas Priest just play an hour. You know what I mean? I want the full concert experience. It's not a band where cheers, Rod. It's sort of the band I want the full experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Rocket Rod's really added to the show here too, so that's
yeah,
cool.
he has. You have, Rod. Cheers, brother.
He's carried the show.
Yeah, we've done well tonight.
Yeah, he made a comment a minute ago. I can't remember what he just said though. The one before that last one.
Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. Sorry. Seeing the show at Wembley. Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
Oh wow! Holy cow!
That's the Judas Priest one, yeah, with Uriah Heep and Saxon, I presume, Graham.
Do they have a Wembley in Australia? I know the one in England. I've heard.
No, it's Wembley, England. That is. I've never been there. It's the new one.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. Well, cheers. You certainly will. We'll be on Saturday night, Rod, talking about Iron Maiden Saturday night with Dan Powers at 10 o'clock. My time.
Does he know what time zone you're on? Is he on the same time zone?
No, I don't know what it is in Australia either. I've got a feeling it'll be 8 hours of red block. No, it can't be that.
It could
I haven't
be.
got a clue.
I don't have a clue, yeah. Oh, well, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, Graham. Yeah, but that's the problem with that concert with me is when you get those sort of bands on. I like Uriah Heep. I like Saxon a bit less than the other two, and obviously Priest. But I don't really want to. I know what's going to happen. Oh, it's 8:50. I thought so. It's 5 to 9 in the morning. Yeah, because you're on the same time length as my cousin is. She lives in Taiwan. Yeah, so I thought it was. I didn't want to say in case I got it wrong. Oh, cheers, Rod. Hope you have a great day, mate, and have a good one anyway, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks very much. But yeah, this is the problem with this gig. I don't really want to pay to see Judas Priest just for an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you like them heads and shoulders above everyone else.
Yeah.
Because nothing more frustrating than going, darn, it's over. Like.
Yeah, but how will they divide up the time? You know, who's going to be the headliner? Because because it wouldn't tell you any of that information. Obviously, Judas Priest will be on last because they're probably the big. Well, it's a toss up because some say with Saxon they're probably bigger in this country. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful part of the world, Cornwall. I've never been. We've got friends that live there.
So he's going to be in the UK?
Yeah, Cornwall's in the UK, Greg. He's travelling from Cornwall to Wembley. It's in London.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And here I am stuck in the Great White North in Canada, and you guys.
Yeah. I wish you luck, Graham, but I hope you have a great gig.
Oh,
but I just hope they cut it up well for you.
Yeah, I just saw Uriah Heep back up Judas Priest here in this.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, they are a good band.
New Uriah Heep stuff sounded good. He goes, well, here's another one off the new album. And usually you groan and go, oh, no, you got to be kidding. But they sounded really good live. And, of course, Easy Living, that's a 10 every day of the week. And they played, I think, Look at Yourself. They played a couple of, or Gypsy. And Steelin' they played. So they played a couple of the older ones I really wanted to hear. So Yeah, they were perfect with Priest.
Yeah, but yeah, that's my problem with that gig. How will they? Because obviously it's only going to go on for like 2.5, 3, maybe 3 hours. Or how are they going to cut up the time? Who's going on who?
Yeah. Well, my battery's down to 2% now,
Right,
so
I will do this. Seeing as Rod's gone, I will do it. So I will tell you the story quickly. You know the new Doro album? I've been what? Sorry.
you tell the story, and I'll run and grab a power cord. Then I don't have to worry about this. So
Okie doke. That's
since
a good
somebody watching,
idea.
yeah,
Right, the story, folks. Basically, I don't know if anyone's heard the new Doro album. I'm a huge Doro Pesh fan. Have been since the early '80s, and when she was with Warlock. And I listened to the new album, and he's got Rob Alford on doing "Living After Midnight." And I think it's Total Eclipse of the Heart with Bonnie Tyler. And I've listened to it about 6 or 7 times, and I can't. There's nothing on there wants me to go and buy it. I thought the cover versions, you sort of get, what you get on a Doro album. So I just wanted bragging rights. So I thought I'd treat myself to something new last week. Greg's still gone. Something new last week. So I finally pulled the plug. Got the new Rolling Stone CD. And it's their best CD recording in 40 years. Hackney Diamond. And you get a live show at the end of it. Absolutely amazing. It was a good price as well. And really, really good price I got it for. But I finally pulled the trigger on Hackney Diamonds, Greg. Are we still gone?
No, I'm here. I can hear it now.
Yeah.
I should have had this plugged in from the get-go, but thought we'd only be a half an hour.
Well, when has one of our shows ever lasted half an hour?
Yeah, that's why it's great when guys like Rocket Rod
Yeah.
get the topics rolling.
I don't know how we've been going for. It's 2 hours, I think. 2 hours we've been going for. Oh, he's gone. I'm on my own. Just waiting for Greg to come back. Sing a song or something. I don't know what's happened. He's probably pulled some out of the wall or something. Here he's back.
Speaking of tripping over chords and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we're the dunces, and it's only the audience
Yeah.
that makes it.
You tell this show's an impromptu, can't you?
Yeah.
Oh, Uriah Heep.
That's from the Still Rocking. What does it say? Still Rocking After All These Years. Oh, no, After All These Beers.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's hard to read on there, and the back's pretty nice too.
Yeah.
You're right, always on tour. There's a lot of dates there.
So I sent you the new album the other day to have a listen off on YouTube. So what do you think of it? Did you like it or?
The new Uriah Heep album?
Yeah, I sent you it the other week. I think you gave it a 7 out of 10 on YouTube.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, so was it one new song? I can't remember.
No, got a new album out, Uriah Heep have. Okay, I don't know what it's called. It's called The Colour or something. It's a very colourful cover.
Okay, yeah, I can't remember.
I'm sure I sent you on YouTube. Hang on a minute. Uriah Heep. I'm just going to check. Hang on a sec. I'm just going to look now what it is. I sent you it. It's called Chaos and Colour.
Okay.
And I sent you it the other week to have a listen to. It's pretty good. I might pull the trigger on it.
Yeah. Chaos and Color?
Yeah, Chaos and Colour. Because Saxon's got a new album out as well, but I forgot what that one's called.
Samson?
Saxon.
Oh, Saxon. Yeah. Later Saxon I can't get into except for a couple of songs. I don't know why. But yeah, here's the whole album on YouTube.
Yeah, I sent you the other day to have a listen to, see what you thought.
Yeah, well, I'll have to refresh my memory. I'm just a dunce, that's all.
Anyway, do you think we should do the wind up?
I suppose so, yeah.
Or do you want to go a bit longer if you want?
I'd have
Well,
to
I've got nothing more to show.
Yeah, right. That's good enough, I guess.
Yeah, I mean 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll leave it at that.
Unless I could throw a couple of the Hippo albums in, or whack a few of them into the equation.
They won't fit on the screen if you have a half screen because it's a hippo in a bathtub. Yeah, I guess we got to call it a day at some point. So
anything you want to add or take away?
No, that's it.
Or just multiply or divide.
Just talk about Canadian VC superstar Dan Powers being on Saturday.
Yeah, he's on. We're talking about Iron Maiden ranking 5 to 1 albums. That is the best 5 albums basically, and it's going to be an interesting one.
And you think you know your number one already? Wow.
Oh, I already do. Yeah. Yeah, I'm 99% sure it's going to be my number one. I'm not saying what it is. You have to wait until Saturday, but yeah, it's definitely up there, my favourites. And it's not. I think you know what it is, but I bet you don't. But nope. Yeah, it's I'm wrong then. But it's definitely it's my favourite one. So yeah, it'll be a good show on Saturday, 10 o'clock GMT. That'll be, if you're in America on EST, that'll be 5 hours behind, so it'll be 5 p.m. And if you're where Greg is in Canada or PST, that's 8 hours behind. It's now 5:10 here, so it's 2:05 in the afternoon for you, Greg.
Yeah, so that makes you the horse's head, and I'm the horse's rear. That's
oh man, don't look at it like that. You're the brains of the outfit, me. I'm just the guy who does all this. I just nod.
Well, yeah. When Rocket Rod comes on and did it, because
he's a clever one as well. He's too clever.
Yeah, way more than me. But anyway, that's good.
Anyway, folks, I think we'll call it a night. But I hope you've had a great time and been entertained. And we'll see if you fancy a good one about Iron Maiden. And you're welcome to participate and give your views. We give everybody a chance, and we always reply to everybody. So you are part of the discussion as well. We don't leave our people out of the discussion like some channels do. I don't know what it is. They seem to ignore the people. I mean, Scott does it. He's great on his channel because they acknowledge you. But the other ones, I've noticed, they don't acknowledge the people down on the right-hand side. You know what I mean? But at least with this channel, we'll acknowledge you, so you can be part of it as well. You can even be part of the show if you want. Just email me on YouTube. My details are on there. If you want to come on the show with us, you're quite welcome to. And as long as you know much more than we do, which is absolutely zero. And so we don't pretend to be experts. We ain't. I'm not anyway. I was just lucky enough I was there when all this stuff was coming out. That's my claim to fame. So I'm not an expert. So yeah. But that's from me anyway. I'll say good night. And Greg, what do you want to say to sum up, mate?
We've got lots of snow here, a couple of feet. If anyone wants some snow, I can truck it to you because I don't want it. But oh well. This guy likes it though.
Mr. PG.
Yeah, he's happy. He thinks it's funny. But anyway, okay. Well, anyway, bye-bye, everybody, I guess.
Yeah, see you, folks. And thank you again.
Now the awkward ending part.